So, how do we reshape meaning? This task is all about taking something familiar, something relatable, something that we know and understand, and reshaping it, changing it, refocusing it so that the meaning is changed and the audience is offered something new. So, consider the image of two women meeting on a bench at a park after a falling out. They used to be friends, they're not friends anymore, something wrong has happened. They are unable to rectify their difference, so they do not speak, even with years of history. How might you reshape this image? How might you tell this story differently? Take a minute or two, have a think. What might it look like for these two ladies to be telling this story differently? You're feeling brave? Maybe put it in the live Q&A chat. And if you're watching this session back later and you've already done it, already done this task, how might you do it a third time? What might it look like again? How might you change it again? All right. Consider this. Perhaps the setting is not a park, but a party, and one late at night. The women are not grown anymore, they're just girls. Perhaps the disagreement is about a boy. Perhaps the metaphor used is not silence as it is in the original story, but the ceaseless noise of war. What about a divorce, but told from the perspective of the oldest child and not the parents? Consider a murder, told from the perspective of the lawyer. Consider these stories told to therapists and taxi drivers and the weekly book club. So, one of the biggest and best ways that you can reimagine stories is by giving the microphone to someone who didn't have a voice originally. This is the whole premise of the Penelope ad. So, Odysseus, he has all the power and the agency in the original story. Penelope has none. What Margaret Atwood does to reshape meaning and to really talk about feminism and female agency is to give the microphone to Penelope and let her tell the story and let her give her own perspective and her own understanding of the events of the Odyssey. So, this is really your role and your task in this story, and it's such an interesting one. I'm going to really encourage you to be tackling and digging into topics that you care about, topics that are close to you, topics that you think you have a take on, ones that excite you, and certainly topics that you would want to read about yourself.